A bill proposed in the by the Karnataka government has created ripples among job seekers across the country. Top corporate voices are slamming the move of the Karnataka government, calling it regressive and a step that will hurt Bengaluru's global image. Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, the chairperson of Biocon, was the first among the business leaders to, in fact, respond to this decision of Quota, reservation, for C&D group reservation in private sector, all jobs for Kannadigas. She stated that the policy should not affect the state's leading position in technology, and also called for exceptions for highly skilled recruitments. Businessmen and philanthropist Mohandas Pai also, in fact, spoke against this issue. This bill, the proposed bill, which the government is expected to bring in this session of the parliament itself. Now, remember, the government, in fact, has brought in first of its kind management quota in Karnataka that is going to affect the private jobs as well. The preference, of course, will be given to the Kannadigas. So the question once again, and also, ladies and gentlemen, you can call in and share your views. Remember, Bangaluru is Silicon Valley of India, but the government now says that it is important for them to create these opportunities for the local people, for Kannadigas. Is it quota over merit with this, judgment or this bill that the government of Karnataka wants to propose in the State Assembly in the current session? Now, also remember that this move has divided and has got mixed voices from the Modi government as well. While Ramdas Atavale, the leader, and the minister in the government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has welcomed this move. Meanwhile, his cabinet colleague, Jayant Chaudhary, has in fact slammed this, calling it unconstitutional. Remember, the quota conundrum continues so far. The Bharatiya Janata Party in the state of Karnataka has not openly come out with its position on this. But what is your position, ladies and gentlemen, on such issue? Because if Karnataka is just the beginning, imagine this kind of quota, these kind of rules being made all across the country. Are we not only, in fact, hitting out at merit, but also, in fact, trying to create these silos as far as the job situation in the country is concerned? Shantanu Rouge, founder and CEO of Time Lease EdTech, is joining us at this moment. Thank you so much, Mr. Rouge. Let me begin by asking you, where do you stand on this merit versus quota debate, which this bill has ignited? Many people are calling it regressive.
Obviously, the bill is actually bereft of a lot of logical thinking in terms of the industry. The industry in Bengaluru, or talk about Karnataka, actually has thrived because of the culture of meritocracy. It was the concept of ease of doing business. I think from ease of doing business, we're going to a structure which says cease of doing business, right? So business stops doing things. You can't have a government representative sitting in your recruitment panel approving every recruitment. I mean, that's completely unthinkable, right? I mean, and the concept of the government defines local in a certain way. It says you must have been born in Karnataka, you should have stayed there and lived there 15 years, and you should be able to read, write, and speak Kannada fluently. Else pass a test. Absolutely ridiculous. I think it doesn't make sense at all, and it's going to hurt the industry a lot, because of which you will see a counter move from out of Karnataka. Industry would want to go and locate somewhere else where meritocracy actually thrives, and businesses can actually survive based on their own, meritocratic cultures.
But Mr. Rouge, where do you stand on the fact that, if jobs are being created and the benefit of those jobs are not being passed on to the locals largely? I'm not saying that 100% should be given to the locals, but if it is not being passed on to the locals, then the government says that it brews discontent. People from outside, from other states, other cities come and take those jobs, and then it creates discontent among the locals.
If you look at it from an employer's perspective, they don't actually discriminate between a person who is a Kannadiga or who has come from outside. We are only concerned about the person who is actually skilled for that open position that I have got to offer. So I'm actually concerned about somebody who has the experience and the right skills to fill up the open positions, be it local or non-local, doesn't matter. So the right way to actually solve this unemployment problem is not to push all of these people who possibly are not rightly skilled down the throat of all the employers, but to ensure that these youth of Karnataka are right skilled, have the right experiences, get to some on-job experiences, get internship opportunities, and create actually an ecosystem where skills thrive, where the meritocracy thrives. The people who are actually skilled are the people who go up the ladder. I think that's more important than trying to push employers to take people, even if they don't qualify for those open positions.
Before I let you go, I just want to ask you one more quick question. Bengaluru has always thrived, has been seen in the country as one of the most cosmopolitan cities, city which embraces people from different cultures, different races, not only just in India but from all across the globe. Do you think that that image of Bengaluru, the inclusive cosmopolitan Bengaluru, is going to take a hit?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, you're bang on there, Ankit. Because if you see, Bengaluru is the hub of all the IT industry of the country. 25% of GDP of Karnataka actually comes from the IT industry there, and that IT industry has not been built by the Kannadigas alone. It has been built by all the people who decided to relocate themselves in Karnataka, work for this country, and build this entire IT industry of this nation. I think it's been built because of that cosmopolitan culture. And if you actually hurt that, it's going to hurt the industry, it's going to hurt the state, it's going to hurt the country.
I request you to stay on for me, and if you can be patiently with us for just a few more minutes. Let me bring in my colleague Pratibha Raman as well, who's been reporting on this story. She has been getting us voices from all the various sectors, from industry to politicians and to the common people there. Pratibha, while the locals possibly would be in support of what the government has done, interestingly, and I'm just talking about the political balance of things, we have not heard opposing voices from the Bharatiya Janata Party on this issue.
In fact, the BJP has been suggesting here in Karnataka that this is definitely political drama. But at the same time, they have been talking about how everybody must get a job here. They've been also talking about, they've been pretty tight-lipped about whether they would oppose the bill or not, because all of them have been suggesting that they would be holding meetings, they would be holding strategic meetings to find out how they could really tackle this once the bill is tabled in the assembly. Yes or no? Well, there's absolutely no answer there as far as the opposition is concerned. But in the meantime, yes, the industry bodies have vehemently opposed this, calling it unconstitutional. Some of them have called it regressive as well, including the Nasscom, who have expressed concern with this, talking about how several of the companies will have to relocate because of this bill. Even within the Congress, there seems to be some sort of a disagreement of sorts, because there are some who believe that all of these Kannadigas must actually be given an opportunity, and this would be one of the best ways to go forward with that. And there is another section that believes that there needs to be more consultations, more meetings that needs to be held, and so that every one of these issues would actually be ironed out. In the case of the industry revolution that southern India is seeing, especially with Telangana as well as Karnataka, this would definitely be a cause of concern. We'll have to wait to see whether there would actually be wider consultations that will be held before this bill is tabled in the assembly. Back to you.
All right, Pratibha, thank you, in fact, for joining us at this moment. Mr. Rouge, also thanks to you. I'm being joined right now by Mr. Ramdas Athavale, Union Minister, who is with us at this moment. Mr. Athavale, thank you so much, sir, for speaking to us. सबसे पहले सर मैं आपसे यही समझना चाहूँगा, ये जो कर्नाटका सरकार का प्रपोज्ड बिल है, जिसमें कन्नडिगा यानी कि लोकल लोगों को प्राथमिकता दी जाएगी, प्राइवेट सेक्टर को भी इसमें उन्होंने इंक्लूड किया है, सोशल जस्टिस मिनिस्टर होने के नाते आप इसको किस तरीके से देखते हैं?
हाँ, तो मुझे लगता है कि जिस तरह हमारे महाराष्ट्र सरकार ने लोकल के लोगों के लिए 80% जॉब देने का निर्णय ऑलरेडी ले लिया है, और 20% जो जॉब होते हैं जो बाहर के लोग आए उनके लिए भी, मतलब जो टेक्नीशियन स्टाफ होता है, बाकी का स्टाफ होता है, उनके लिए है। तो कर्नाटक सरकार ने मतलब जो निर्णय लिया है उसमें बाहर के लोगों को भी मतलब मौका मिलना चाहिए, कन्नड़ के लोगों को ज़्यादा मौका मिलना चाहिए, बात सही है। लेकिन जिस तरह प्राइवेट सेक्टर में भी जिस तरह कोई फैक्ट्री होती है उसमें 80% लोग लोकल के भरने का नियम ही है जो कोई, तो इसीलिए मुझे लगता है कि कर्नाटक सरकार ने बाहर के लोगों को एकदम अपोज करना ठीक नहीं है, ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के खिलाफ होगा। लेकिन ज़्यादा सीटें कन्नड़ी के लोगों को मिलना चाहिए, इसके बारे में हमारा दुमत नहीं है। लेकिन एज ए सोशल जस्टिस मिनिस्टर मुझे लगता है कि भारत देश एक है और भारत के कोने कोने से लोग अपने जॉब के लिए जो जाते हैं उनको उस स्टेट में पूरा प्रोटेक्शन मिलना चाहिए। जिस तरह हमारे मुंबई में साउथ इंडिया के लोग, नॉर्थ इंडिया के लोग, नॉर्थ ईस्ट के लोग, सभी जगह के लोग, गुजरात के लोग हमारे मुंबई में काफ़ी रहते हैं
जी।
तो हम लोग मतलब मेरी पार्टी हमेशा ये सब लोगों का सपोर्ट करती है। तो इसीलिए मुझे लगता है कि कन्नड़ में जो अपना कर्नाटक असेंबली में बिल आ रहा है वो बिल अभी क्या है मुझे मालूम नहीं है, लेकिन कन्नडिगाओं को ज़्यादा मौका मिलना चाहिए, बात ठीक है। लेकिन हमारे मराठी लोग भी कर्नाटक में काफ़ी संख्या में लोग रहते हैं, बेलगांव में है, बीजापुर में है, हुबली में है, वहाँ काफ़ी लोग हमारे मराठी रहते हैं, बेंगलुरु में रहते हैं
जी।
तो बाहर के लोगों को भी उसमें मौका मिलना चाहिए, ऐसा बिल होना चाहिए, ना कि पूरा कन्नड़ी लोगों को ही जॉब दे। ये बिल ऐसा होगा तो ठीक नहीं है
सर। लेकिन जो कहा जा रहा है कि ना सिर्फ जॉब की बात की जा रही है बल्कि कहा जा रहा है सरकार अपने लोगों को, नुमाइंदों को बैठाएगी, कंपनीज जब किसी को रिक्रूट करेंगी तो वो भी देखेंगे कि किस तरीके के लोगों को वो रिक्रूट कर रहे हैं। इस तरह का हस्तक्षेप ठीक है क्या? और दूसरा मैं आपसे समझना चाहूँगा कि अगर हर राज्य में इस तरीके से बंदिशें लगाई जाएंगी तो फिर भारत में जो लोगों को आज़ादी है कहीं पर भी जाके काम करने की, उसका क्या होगा?
उस पर प्रॉब्लम आ सकता है। जिस तरह कन्नड़ में मतलब हमारे कर्नाटक में कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार है, कांग्रेस पार्टी 70 साल तक केंद्र में सत्ता में रही है, तो मुझे लगता है कि भाई कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार ने ऐसा डिसीजन लेना ठीक नहीं है। बाहर के लोगों को भी मौका मिलना ही चाहिए। ये मतलब उस बिल में मतलब वो नियम अंतर्भुत होना चाहिए। अगर हर राज्य इसी तरह का कोई निर्णय लेगा तो बाहर के जो टेक्नीशियन लोग हैं, बाहर के जो मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर है, बाकी के जो स्कॉलर लोग हैं, ऐसे लोगों को मौका मिलेगा नहीं। तो मुझे लगता है कि जो मालिक लोग होते हैं उन्होंने 80% या मैक्सिमम लोगों को लोकल के भरना चाहिए, बात ठीक है। लेकिन जो टेक्नीशियंस होते हैं उनको बाहर के लोगों को मौका मिलना चाहिए, मजदूरों को भी मौका मिलना चाहिए। तो भारत देश एक है और भारत में इसी तरह का बंधन लगाना ठीक नहीं है, संविधान के खिलाफ होगा।
जो इंडस्ट्री के एक्सपर्ट्स हैं सर, जो बड़े बड़े इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट हैं, वो कह रहे हैं कि प्राइवेट सेक्टर में इस तरीके का हस्तक्षेप सरकार को नहीं करना चाहिए, इससे इंडस्ट्रीज को नुकसान होगा। वो साथ में ये भी कह रहे हैं कि देखिए आप कोटा इंप्लीमेंट करके मेरिट को दबा रहे हैं, जिन लोगों, प्रतिभाशाली लोगों को आप मौका नहीं मिलेगा क्योंकि आप कोटा आप इस तरीके का इंप्लीमेंट कर देंगे।
मुझे लगता है कि जो मालिक लोगों का कहना है कि उसी तरह का दबाने का अगर विषय होगा तो वो ठीक नहीं है। लेकिन जो बाहर के जो मेरिट में आने वाले लोग हैं, स्कॉलर लोग हैं, ऐसे लोगों का मेरिट दबाना ठीक भी नहीं, बात सही है। लेकिन जो गवर्नमेंट होता है, गवर्नमेंट का भी थोड़ा सा सुनना चाहिए। गवर्नमेंट अगर कोई कानून बनाता है तो कानून के मुताबिक मतलब उन्होंने भी वहाँ रिक्रूटमेंट करना चाहिए। लेकिन जिस तरह राज्य सरकार उनको भी मतलब अधिकार होता है कि भाई अपने राज्य में जो कंपनी आती है उसमें लोकल लोगों को ज़्यादा मौका मिलना चाहिए। तो उसी तरह मुझे लगता है कि उनके पूरा दबाव डालना ठीक नहीं है। लेकिन कुछ हद तक मतलब कुछ नियमावली बनाने की आवश्यकता है। अगर राज्य में कोई फैक्ट्री आती है, कोई इंडस्ट्री आती है तो उसमें नियमावली बनानी चाहिए। लेकिन मालिकों के हक को भी पूरा नहीं दबाना चाहिए और राज्य सरकार को भी थोड़ा मौका उसमें देना चाहिए।
रालू साहब, अंत में मैं आपसे बस एक छोटा सवाल ये पूछना चाहूंगा। आप कह रहे हैं कि जो लोकल लोग हैं उन्हें ज़्यादा मौका मिलना चाहिए, उनके लिए अगर थोड़ा रिजर्वेशन होता है तो उसमें कोई बुराई नहीं है। जयंत चौधरी जो आपकी सरकार में मंत्री हैं, आपके कुलीग हैं इस सरकार में, वो कह रहे हैं कि अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है, स्किल डेवलपमेंट मिनिस्टर हैं, वो कह रहे हैं कि इस तरीके का मामला बिल्कुल भी नहीं होना चाहिए।
मुझे लगता है कि जयंत चौधरी हमारे मतलब इम्पोर्टेंट मिनिस्टर है, इंडस्ट्री का डिपार्टमेंट उनके पास है, उनका भी कहना तो सही है। लेकिन बाहर के लोगों को मौका ही नहीं देना चाहिए, ऐसा बिल नहीं होना चाहिए। अभी बिल क्या पूरा है मुझे मालूम नहीं है
जी।
लेकिन लोकल लोगों को ज़्यादा मौका मिलना चाहिए, ये नियमावली हर राज्य में होती है। लेकिन पूरा जो है वो इंडस्ट्री पर दबाव डालना ठीक नहीं है। जो जयंत चौधरी का कहना है उससे मैं सहमत हूँ। लेकिन लोकल लोगों को ज़्यादा मौका हमेशा जो लेबर क्लास होता है उसमें रहता है और बाकी के जगह पर मतलब लोकल के साथ साथ बाहर के लोगों को भी मौका मिलना चाहिए।
अठावले साहब बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमसे बातचीत करने के लिए, समय देने के लिए एनडीटीवी को. Thank you so much, Union Minister Ramdas Athavale, in fact, speaking here on NDTV about this quota issue. Let's bring in a few callers. In fact, people have been, our lines are buzzing, people are calling in. We have a caller who's calling from Ghaziabad at this moment. Mr. Shankar is calling us from Ghaziabad in the NCR region. Sir, go ahead. What do you think about this move? Do you think that this is regressive, as many industrialists are calling it?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Please go ahead.
We are going back to Tipu Sultan era, worse than Tipu Sultan era, number one. Number two, it is disintegrate the country. Number three, this is apartheid of South Africa. Number four, it will affect ease of doing business. Number five, tomorrow Tamil Nadu will also follow, TMC will also follow, copy. Number six, Central will not allow, because this is a concurrent list. Central will not allow at all. It has to come to President of India, Home Ministry. Number seven, you are saying local. The minister was saying local. Local can also include non-Kannadigas who are settled in Bengaluru, who don't know Kannadiga. What will happen to local people? These are my points. Thank you very much. Nothing more.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Point by point of what you think, doesn't work as far as this bill is concerned. Mr. Ramchandran is calling us from Chennai. We'll go across to him as well. Mr. Ramchandran, what do you think, sir? I mean, a big metro like Bengaluru, the government coming up with this kind of a quota and a reservation for the locals. Are you in agreement?
No, Mr. Ankit, I think it's a dangerous move. It's not in good taste, and a national party like Congress taking up such ill-conceived moves is sending wrong signals to the corporate sector. If they want to create jobs, it's fine. This is not the right way. This is not the right mode of doing it. I think already Maharashtra minister spoke on your channel saying that locals need reservation in Maharashtra also. And one political leader from Tamil Nadu has also spoken in favor of such a move in Tamil Nadu. It's going to snowball. I don't think it's the right move. Instead of creating jobs for all the people, creating jobs for, reserving jobs on the basis of domicile, this thing is, I don't think it's right. It is unnecessary, complicated issue. That's what it's not the right move.
Thank you, sir. I mean, a lot of people have the sentiment that creating walls within the country is not a good idea. But as I said, that of course there are local issues and interests that have to be protected by the government as well. In that debate, in all this quota debate, is merit being pushed down, or because of the way a lot of benefits should go to where these big factories or these big companies are coming in, should locals be denied that kind of a benefit is also part of this debate. Let me see if we have Mr. Rouge with us, who we were talking to just a short while back to try and get one more question with him over his understanding. Mr. Rouge, I just want to understand once again from you, like you heard Mr. Athavale also speaking, the Union Minister. There are other states as well. In Maharashtra, there is a cap on C&D, level jobs in various factories that are to be given to locals, about 75 to 80%. This kind of practices have been used or are actively being used in other states as well. So why single out Karnataka? It possibly would be a question.
So Ankit, the problem analysis is correct that unemployment is an issue, unemployability is a challenge, but the prescription being used in this case is being questioned, right? So they're saying that you can't just shove people down employers' throat, even if they are not technically qualified or rightly skilled. I think the prescription is wrong. Different states have used different methodologies. For example, you talked about Maharashtra. Just concurrently and simultaneously, while the Karnataka government was passing this bill, Maharashtra government was passing another bill, which said that they have actually apportioned 5,500 crores in their budget this year to promote internship and apprenticeship, which says that you enable the youth of the state with the right skills and the work experience, so they become attractive to an employer rather than just mandating them to take people even if they're not highly skilled. I think the approaches are different.
Right.
Haryana did something like that. The High Court actually turned it down. So I don't think there are too many precedences across the country where these type of mandates actually help the state in actually improving the levels on employment. It is actually going to throw employers out.
And this scheme that you're speaking about, the idea, in fact, originally came from the Congress's manifesto, which Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party had promised during the national election. So possibly the Congress party in Karnataka, the government could take a leaf out of that and maybe work on a different approach to try and assuage all these fears and, the problem of unemployment of the locals in the state of Karnataka. We have one more caller, Harish. All right, we'll just, in fact, go across and get other callers as well. But as in, as somebody who is generating this kind of, these jobs, or who's possibly working out of Bengaluru, if you, for example, if you are based out of Bengaluru, your main operation is in that city or in any other city of Karnataka, does this dissuade you that much that you will possibly shift your operations? It will be a very, hugely cost impacting move as well.
See, the problem here, Ankit, is the question to ask ourselves that is this particular regulation a thorn in the flesh or dagger in the heart? Right? And my firm belief is this is a dagger in the heart. It's going to kill organizations because today, driven by globalization, driven by digitalizations, companies are actually competing with each other at the global level. Right? And that time you definitely need your right type of skilled resources or adaptive, rightly skilled and have the right type of productivity levels. And if you can't have that right team, you can't survive today's competitive market today. And if the employers are restricted to hire the best talents possible for their business, best talents for their businesses, they have no choices left but to move out of the state.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Rush, for speaking to us and sharing your views on this very important topic at this moment. We are hoping that there is some elbow room. All these voices, suggestions could still be taken up because there are political compulsions, and then there is real politics, that real economics as far as any state is concerned. And both have to be balanced. You can't just, in fact, keep all the eggs in the basket of your populist politics that possibly can derail the growth story that we have seen so far in the city of Bengaluru and in the state of Karnataka. Very, very important. What we'll do at this moment, we'll also try and play out some political reactions on this story, because since morning we have been collecting, political reactions on this from the Chief Minister to the Deputy Chief Minister. Interestingly, as I was speaking to my colleague Pratibha Raman, the BJP is very, very cagey to react on this, because as I said, there is politics and of course economics, which is at this moment on the line as far as this move is concerned.
There is no need to panic. We are going to safeguard the jobs for the state as well as encourage investments in the industries with their consultation. Right now, Karnataka is catering to the global workforce, and we want our people also to get jobs, but not at the cost of investments, because investments will create jobs. So we will reskill, upskill, whatever it is, we will do a wider consultation with the industry and take a call. There is nothing wrong in giving 100% employment to local on Group D or Group C if possible. So whatever it is, ultimately skill determines everything. We will ensure our people are more skilled. There is nothing regressive about it. We will have wider consultations.
Another caller on the phone line at this moment, Mr. Prakash Prabhu is calling us from Chennai. Mr. Prakash Raghu, please go ahead and share your views. Is it quota over merit, and do you think other states would also be encouraged to do things like these? Mr. Raghu, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Please go ahead, sir.
My question is very simple. My answer to this, idea is very simple. This is again vote bank politics. To satisfy the Kannadigas, in no way, I don't want to deride them. Everybody are intelligent and well endowed. But bringing in reservations in the private sector is detrimental to India's business growth, and it is a challenge by itself. This is nothing but vote bank politics played by the Congress.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your views on NDTV. We welcome our viewers, in fact, and that is what we strive for, to maximum engagement, real-time engagement with our viewers on the most pressing issues around the country. That's all the time that we have on this edition.